Christians also may say that Jesus said, I am in the Father and the Father in me. That means those two people are one God. When John chapter 14:10 says, do you not believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me? The words that I say to you, I do not speak in my own initiative, but the Father abiding in me does his works. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father is in me, otherwise believe because of the works themselves. So now Jesus is saying that he is in the Father. Again, John believes in the doctrine of al-ittihad wal-hulul, that God can take upon a human body. If we go another 6 or 7 verses down, we'll see that Jesus is saying that also the disciples are in Jesus. As it says over here, and on that day you will know that I am in my Father and you in me. You, the disciples, are in me and I in you. So does that mean the disciples are also God and they are a part of God? Again, this is what John believes in. John believed in al-ittihad, in the unification, that everything is united with God and everything is God. Then Jesus continues, he who has my commandments and keeps them is the one who loves me, and he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and will disclose myself to him. In the beginning of the Gospel of John, it says, all things came into being through him, and apart from him nothing came into being that has come into being. He meant that the Word or the Christ was created by God, and all the creation of planets, stars, earth, trees, angels, souls, etc. are all created from the matter of the Word or the Christ. This Word is from before time as God. Therefore it is united with God, as I mentioned before. And this is un-Islamic doctrine, and John really was not a Muslim, and he was not a true follower of Jesus, because if he was, Jesus was a monotheist, and he said that we should follow only the first commandment, which is to believe in only one God and not to associate any other gods with him. The unity of existence was explained by Paul in Romans 6:4. He said, therefore we have been buried with him through baptism into death, so that as Christ was raised from the dead through the glory of the Father, so we too might walk in the newness of life. For if we have become united with him in the likeness of his death, certainly we shall also be in the likeness of his resurrection. When the soul gets rid of the physical body, the soul unites with God. This makes a human to be God, or to be in the same status of God. Paul believes that when the believers unite with God, they will become judge in the day of judgment, just like God. Many of the Christians believe that we are gods with small g's, and that God, Allah, has created us this way so we can become in the same level or the status of God. As also Paul says in Romans 8, and if children, heirs also, heirs of God and fellow heirs with Christ, if indeed we suffer with him, so that we may also be glorified with him. And in the 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 2, or do you not know that the saints will judge the world? If the world is judged by you, are you not competent to constitute the smallest law courts? In other words, he's saying that the people are going to be judged with God himself in the day of judgment. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Making yourself God, whoever says that he or she is chosen by God, saved by God, will enter heaven by a ticket called salvation, only adds arrogance to the humankind, just like Satan when he became arrogant in the beginning. This is against the commandments of God. We should humiliate ourselves in front of God and ask Allah for forgiveness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran as a response to all that, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, they have certainly disbelieved who say that Allah is Christ, the son of Mary. Say, then who could prevent Allah at all if he had intended to destroy Christ, the son of Mary, or his mother, or everyone on the earth? And to Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth and whatever is between them. He creates what he wills, and Allah is over all things competent.